Today we will discuss Operation Zeppelin. It's a story of how India's opposition sold the country for its lust for power. There are betrayals, and then there is treachery, so deep that it bleeds the soul of a nation. In January 2023, Gautam Adani was in Israel finalizing the acquisition of the strategic Haifa port, a deal that would not only bolster India Israel relations, but also shift the balance of maritime power in the world. It was then that the Hindenburg report was detonated like a precision strike, erasing $150 billion in market value and casting a shadow over India's global economic standing. But now we know that it wasn't random. It wasn't even business. It was war, an information war, a proxy sabotage. And the Gandhis, the Congress ecosystem, the TMC cabal, and their NGO financed global lackeys were the enablers. Israel's spy agency Mossad launched Operation Zeppelin to investigate the timing and the motivations behind the Hindenburg attack. What they found was a dagger aimed at not just Adani, but at India's very rise as an economic power. Encrypted chats, foreign funding, global coordination, all were rolled into one. Mossad traced it back to one address in Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois, which is the headquarters of the Indian Overseas Congress led by Sam Pitroda, the perennial puppet master behind the Gandhi family. Pitroda's home server, his own home servers, were hacked. The truth found there was grotesque. Encrypted chats, hidden documents, and digital trails linked directly to Rahul Gandhi, aka the bitter dynast, as Mossad called him. Rahul Gandhi, during his Stanford visit, met with Hindenburg operatives. Sources reveal he was assured, "We will finish Adani and Modi." That's not opposition politics. That's collusion with the enemy forces. When foreign hedge funds, Soros-linked NGOs, and Soros-funded media houses launched their blitz against India, who stood with them? The Gandhis did. The Indian media did. The Congress IT cell did. The opposition's parties in India did. They weren't surprised or shocked. They were synchronized in their efforts. Tweets from Congress leaders dropped within minutes of the Hindenburg story at 2:23 a.m. IST. The National General Secretary of the Indian Overseas Congress, Sandeep Wangala, was already amplifying the narrative. That wasn't dissent, that wasn't transparency, that was sabotage. Let's ask a fundamental question. Why would a political party rooted in India act as a courier of chaos for foreign agents? Because India under Modi is not an India they can control. Because Adani, Ambani, and the new Indian entrepreneur class are not beholden to dynastic favors. Because India, bold, sovereign, and rising, threatens the colonial echo chambers they still bow down to. The Gandhis don't just hate Modi. They hate an India they cannot control and plunder. They fear irrelevance. So they gamble with the nation's future, aligning with Soros, collaborating with hedge funds, leaking to global media, and activating their toolkit at midnight every time Bharat asserts sovereignty. The 353-page dossier from Mossad names USAID, OCCRP, Western media outlets, and the Democratic Party-linked hedge funds as amplifiers of anti-Adani and anti-India narratives. Pitroda's communications, decrypted by elite Mossad cyber units, show systematic attempts to undercut Indian economic power just before the Haifa port deal. The goal was clear: derail India-Israel cooperation, hurt India's global standing, and burn down every symbol of India's rise. The time for silence is over. When opposition becomes subversion, it ceases to be a democratic disagreement. The opposition has become an enemy of the state. We are witnessing a battle for the soul of India, not just on our borders, but within. And the adversaries wear the mask of democracy, but wield the sword of destruction. They hate what India has become because it no longer kneels to their whims.